Hey, Kyle.
Hey, Nick.
You see what I got in my hand right here? It's a sticker.
It is a sticker.
It's a sticker with our faces on it.
Good looking sticker.
It's a damn fine look. It's a good looking, man. Yeah, I think you're selling a short.
Sexy sticker.
There it is. You know, I bet you a lot of people would love this sticker.
Yeah, it's a high quality sticker.
It is. You can put this on your laptop.
Yep.
You can put this on your car.
Yep.
You can put this on your baby.
You could.
I mean,
improving all of those options with the placement of the Dripping Stone sticker.
And here's how you can get a sticker. I mean, you can. I'll give you this one.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. If anybody else wants a sticker, they got to do a little bit of work.
Okay.
Okay. Here's what you got to do.
Yep.
You've got to go back and find our James Bond post on Facebook or Instagram.
Right.
Okay. That's episode 108.
Would have been awesome if it was episode 007. But that was a long time ago.
That's a long time ago. Yeah. Episode 108. Go find that post on Instagram or Facebook.
Okay.
They've got to tell us their favorite Bond movie or give us their favorite Bond quote. Either way.
Gotcha.
Okay. And then tag us in that post too.
Yeah. We'll contact you.
Yeah.
Let you know that we appreciated what you said.
Absolutely.
And we'll see if we can get some contact information. We'll be sending a sticker your way.
Yeah. And, we might even read your responses on the podcast.
Ooh.
I know.
Man.
I mean, you get a sticker and a shout out on the podcast.
You scratch our back, we'll scratch yours.
That's how that works.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to go to Facebook right now and do it.
Done.
As in, you already did it or you're going to do it?
Agreed.
All right. Hey. Welcome to Dripping Stone Podcast, the podcast for two friends. Raise a glass and have a conversation. I'm Nick.
And I'm Kyle.
Hey, Kyle.
I saw the theme. I was playing along with it.
No, I felt it.
Cool.
I mean, I saw it. Nobody else.
I see.
Yeah. That's what you did there. Hey. Can we drink something?
Indeed.
What do you want?
All right. So this episode, we're combining what we're drinking with the topic that we're having.
That happens occasionally.
All right. So it's a thing.
Okay.
So yeah, this is one of those episodes. So what we're going to talk about is a thing that talks about different versions of things. Possibly in a multiverse situation.
Right.
So I thought it'd be cool to pick a drink that would possibly play along with that theme. Like something that we could have.
Lord of the Rings?
No, sir.
Oh.
Something that could have different versions. How is that Lord of the Rings?
I don't know. I was trying to find something.
A drink.
Oh, we're talking about Back to the Future.
I mean, we could. We totally should. God, I could geek out on some Back to the Future. Or Back in Time, as it was probably originally going to be titled because the Huey Lewis song Back in Time.
Land Before Time.
I only watched like the original, but I remember Bigfoot.
Littlefoot.
Well, wasn't his mama Bigfoot?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
We're off the rails already, damn it.
So it'd be cool to have a drink that we have different versions of that drink. And man, one of our favorites, we've got a new bottle of it, and it's a slightly different version of the original, and that's the Dettling Cask Strength Single Barrel.
Hell yeah, I'm looking forward to this.
So yeah, we've got it's not the OG because I think
the OG was
like 5 bottles ago.
Yeah, well, I don't remember that.
We've got the 36-month aged, and then we also now have a 50-month aged.
Holy crap.
So, man, you're adding on an extra 14-month, year and a little bit. Yeah. So we can taste these, kind of compare them and look at the different versions that they are, along with a conversation that we'll have about some stuff that's got some different versions of itself.
All right. No, I love that. This is kind of also like revisiting an old friend, honestly.
Indeed.
Like, we love us some Dettling. I mean, we've sang Dettling's praises. I want to point out, Kyle, for all of our friends, we sang Dettling's praises before a big name in bourbon did.
Before a lot of big names in bourbon did.
Yeah. And, I mean, I know what that says about us, and I'm going to do a little bit of humble bragging. We're fucking awesome.
Yeah, we called it.
We did.
2 years ago. Over 2 years ago at this point.
Legit.
We called it. How great this stuff is.
For sure.
Yeah.
Man, I can't wait until we go up to Atmore. That's Alabama, by the way.
Yeah.
Well,
I know Alabama.
I know you do. This is kind of like the right over the Florida border.
It's in L.A. Lower Alabama.
Got it. I don't know what that says about me that I know that now. Anyway, so when we get up to Atmore and hang out with Seth and maybe do a little bit of sampling, do a little bit of talking, do a little bit of kind of wandering around the rick houses and the farm up there.
Yeah,
maybe we can make that happen this summer.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
That would be sweet.
Hey, side note, not only can you get a sticker, but why don't all of you blow up Dettling's media pages?
Boom, boom.
Yeah, and email and all that kind of stuff, and tell them how awesome Interview with Drep and Stone would be.
Yeah, they're just, thanking Drep and Stone for introducing you to their great products.
Correct. I got some bottle words for you real quick. Can I read them to you?
Sure.
They're the same on both bottles, but sometimes. Dettling Bourbon made history by being the first bourbon made in Alabama. The special field-to-bottle bourbon was born in a South Alabama cornfield and rightly deserves to be called Alabama Bourbon. No compromises, no shortcuts, no sourcing. Just a new chapter in a family brand that started in 1867.
Boom.
Yeah. Listen, Seth and the Dettling crew, they are doing it right.
Yeah.
All right. You ready to jump in?
Yes, sir.
All right. So let's start with the 36 months, shall we?
Makes sense.
I poured the 36 month. Why don't you pour the 50 month?
Okay.
Damn. I felt that cork pop. Wow.
Woo!
Man, those are fine pours. Start with the 36, work our way up to the 50.
Sure. But really quickly, just looking at a comparison of them, there's a lot of color in that 50.
Yeah.
That 50's got a shade or two on the 36.
You're not wrong. I can see it in the glass. You look at that bottle, dude.
Yeah.
That bottle's demonstrably darker.
Yeah. I mean, we're talking dark.
Yeah.
Again, I think we've said it before. Dettling is the darkest whiskey that I've ever had.
Yeah, it's a dark whiskey for sure.
And that 50 years kicking it up just a couple shades.
Yeah.
It's dark.
All right, so 36 month is a 108.2.
50 month is right at 109.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
54.5.
So a little bit.
Got an edge on it.
That's less than a proof point, so I don't know if you're going to taste a big difference
on
proof
my
wise.
palate, I'll be able
Right.
to do it. But
All right, what you got on the nose?
we always commend Dettling for the beautiful nose that brings forward coffee, toffee, chocolate.
Yep, all those things. Legit. I mean,
All
every
those beautiful
single one.
things.
And I'm also getting some leather.
Yeah.
That's something I've never gotten before, but I wonder if that's just palate maybe or nose is a little more refined.
Dark cherry.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
You doing Macho Man does Barry White?
Oh, yeah. It's so good. It just makes everything a little lower.
It really does.
The Dettling does.
You want to turn the lights down low, light a good cigar,
Sun setting.
eat you a steak.
We're just sitting in here in the library.
3 words. Hello, old friend.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You got my words?
Yeah. I think it was the hello.
Okay.
Old friend. We're both one syllable.
Right.
It's still incredible to me how different this smells from every other whiskey.
Nothing smells like this.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the nose on the 50 month before we get into the palate.
Okay.
What do you think? Pretty much the same, but there's some depth there. There's a little bit more dark sorghum sweet.
I'll go honest. I go the other way.
Really?
I think the 50 month smells a little brighter. I don't know why. It almost tiptoes into citrusy.
I don't know, man. I do see what you're saying. There's another subtle hint of something in there.
It's close.
I get it
It's so
refined.
hard.
There's a little bit more depth, and I don't it's hard to quantify that. What does that mean? A little bit more, but there's a little more depth to the 50 month, and it could just be I know it's aged longer, so I'm just attributing that to it.
Well, and they're single barrels.
Oh, for sure.
And this is years apart.
Yeah.
Too. So one, I'm getting a more darker cherry. One, I feel like it's more a bit of a bright apple-y kind of a note.
I mean,
it is very similar from you take one bite of an apple,
yeah,
and it's super sweet and crazy, and then you take another the exact same kind of apple from the same batch, and it's a little tart.
Sure.
And it's just the subtle little difference.
And I don't know if we actually said that. We're doing this cask strength single barrel. I don't think we said that at the beginning, but the cask strength single barrel.
I said it.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
because I remember reading it.
Okay.
Because I don't think I've read that in a long time. Cask strength. Because I know they say it differently than most. Most everything is either cask strength or
single barrel proof.
Single barrel.
Sure.
Whatever.
Okay. I'm going to go palate on the 36 month.
Okay.
Man, there is nothing that tastes like that.
I know.
Wow. It is it's coffee. It's everything on the nose but then like just dialed up because of the proof.
Yeah. Coffee, toffee is like really strong, thick, dark caramel.
Yeah.
Like sugar that's almost been over darkened.
Yeah, it's not quite burned, but it's like just a step before that.
Yeah. You're edging up against it.
Yeah. In like
You
the
pulled
best
it
way.
off just in the nick of time and didn't burn it.
This is just me. Like I look, whenever I say I like something a lot, I tend to look for the things that like, okay, what do I not like about this? I mean, I go back to the Oktoberfest episode just from a couple weeks ago, how much I've raved and raved over Sam Adams Oktoberfest and didn't come out on top.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say is like, I've tried over the many bottles of Dettling I've had to find something I don't like about it, and I can't. And I'm not just saying that because like this is a great whiskey, like in my mind, legit. I put it in blinds. I've tried to like find things I don't like about it. Ain't nothing. That made my Southern come out.
Ain't nothing.
No, ain't nothing.
Ain't nothing.
There's like an N in front of that. Ain't nothing.
For me personally, like Dettling is not something that I have on the regular.
Oh yeah. I'm not saying that at all.
I've gone through like so much other whiskey at this point
Sure.
that I think it was probably literally maybe like 6 months, and I hadn't gone back to Dettling in a while. When I went back to it, it was just like, whoa.
And see,
Because it has so much unique flavor,
Right.
And all of that flavor is dialed up to 10.
I see what you're saying.
It's so much that it wouldn't fit every situation.
And I think that we said that in our initial Dettling episode of like, this is so unique. It's so different that like, this to me is almost a celebratory bourbon. And I break it out when like I need a celebratory bourbon. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Right.
Whether it's like a friend's come over, I'm like, hey, have you tried this?
Yeah.
Or like I'm in a mood where I need something great. I mean, this is, to me, it's almost a birthday bourbon.
Yeah.
In that respect.
Right.
And I agree. Like, it's because it's like, it's just dramatically different.
Yeah.
But that to me is what I love about it.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Did you know that there's a barrel in the Dettling Rick House with our name on it?
I did not, and I will probably have to call bullshit on that.
Okay. But there could be.
Okay.
That's what I'm getting at.
Gotcha.
There could be.
Okay.
Could you imagine that?
Sure.
You don't think it's going to happen? There's a sticker. Listen, we could.
Yeah, we could. I mean, I'll take a Sharpie with me when we go, and just really tiny, write our name on there. If that's what you're saying, like easy, done.
Yeah.
Seth, what's that?
Look over there.
But no, that's where like I'm just saying it has so much flavor. It's so unique. It is rich.
That is perfect.
Like I love fudge. I don't want fudge all the time. Sometimes, you get a block of fudge and it's like, whoo, that's too much.
Ooh, yes.
3 bites and I was good. That's all I needed. But I've got a whole block of fudge.
That's why you share it with
I'm going to
friends.
save it. Yeah.
Or save it. Sure.
And that's what Dettling is to me. It's like it's a savory.
But it's something like I constantly like I go back to and like think about like I use Dettling as almost a benchmark of like, okay, that's so different. Does it provide that roller coaster? Does it provide all of those notes that does? Okay, well, it's not quite there yet.
Sometimes it's just it's a more simplified thing of what I'm looking for. Like that Highland Park to me,
right?
You were talking about kind of like 2 or 3 main notes,
yeah,
that kind of gave you this beautiful little perfect little story arc,
right?
Dettling is like it's giving you about 4 or 5 different notes, and they're all at 10 the whole time. So it's just a different experience.
I agree. Yeah, I can agree with that.
Volume of flavor.
Yep. No, I agree. It could be a lot to parse through for sure. It's that like we cranked all of these up to 11.
Yeah.
And now you've got to deal with it.
Yeah.
Which I love.
Strap in.
Yeah, I love in certain occasions. But you're right.
Yeah, celebratory I think is the perfect word for it. Like it is a celebratory drink.
Let's go over to the 50 month.
Okay.
I'm gonna take a quick sip of the 36. I got some left in this glass, and then I'm gonna jump to the 50.
Dettling's starting to get into that like holiday nose.
Oh,
for me, where it's starting to just make me feel like singing a carol of some sort.
Whoa, 50 month.
Yeah,
buttered toffee.
Yeah,
like straight up,
and like in a brighter way.
I agree.
Like I think that's what I was trying to say with the nose. Like it's just a little brighter. Yeah, that one's way more like buttery.
Yes.
Woo. Proof just like slapped me, man.
That's really funny. I honestly, I don't get any of the proof.
It like cinched up my tongue for like a minute.
I still get some of the coffee notes. I still get some of the like toffee, but it's just like it's butter caramel.
Yeah. And like a lighter caramel, like a caramel that you didn't push all the way to almost burnt.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
A lighter caramel.
It really truly is, which is so interesting to me because it's aged longer. It's a little bit higher proof, but you're right. Like I didn't agree with you on the nose. I totally agree with you on the palate. Like it seems a little more fresh here.
More fresh ears.
More fresh air.
It's got more fresh ears.
If you said, "Hey, I've got these two. Which one do you want a pour of?" Put the Dettling in the glass. Hand me the glass. What's wrong with you?
You got that gas strength? Okay. Yeah, I'm all in.
I'm all in. If I had to choose between the two, I think I actually like the 36 month a little better because I like those deep, dark notes that I'm getting out of the almost like pushing, not quite burned caramel. But I say that, and I really love that buttery note. Oh.
Man, like, I mean, to put any kind of a emphasis on either one of them.
Yeah.
I don't know that I could do it right this second.
Okay. All right.
I'm going to need a minute.
All right. Now that we have what I consider, Kyle, and I think you'd agree, a phenomenal drink.
Always.
One of the oldest of friends.
Yeah.
I mean, the oldest.
Episode 2?
2, 3, something like that. Something like that.
Something like that.
Man, my Southern's real coming out.
It is
I wonder,
prominent.
Is it the Dettling?
It makes sense. Alabama bourbon.
You get that Alabama water and you get that corn and Kyle.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to talk about?
All right, so building it up, the different versions of things. At this point in time, you have completed What If?
What if what?
The Marvel series.
Okay.
What If?
Okay.
On Disney Plus.
I was confused.
Yeah, the Marvel the Marvel series.
I have.
You finished it because you're so good at watching stuff and getting it all in.
You're right.
You're always on top of that shit.
You're right.
Yeah.
What some would say better than you.
Yeah, I would not be one of those people.
Correct.
Depending on
it depends on the thing.
Giving them the
Sure,
thing. Sometimes you're on top of it. Sometimes you're on top
It's
of
just, okay, that speaks to like us as different people.
I know. That's what makes us great. We're a great duo.
You're right.
All right, so what if, you've completed it now, you've seen it.
Right.
All right, we talk about everything Marvel as it comes out.
Correct.
More or less.
Yeah.
And this was a really cool series that I really dug. Like, I thought it was really cool.
I really did too. I'm always amazed at like what now can they do?
Right.
Like where are they going to take this?
The concept of what if, has lived in the comic books for so long.
Sure.
Like different versions, like different takes on different characters and stuff, and they reinvent them all the time and give you brand new stories and stuff. So it was cool to be able to take a lot of the same cast,
right,
and tell these stories in a new way, give you a new twist, because like you're always thinking that, oh man, what if Captain America did this, or what if Black Panther was able to do that,
right?
So for them to be able to do it again with the cast,
sure,
even if it's animated, but man, dude, the animation like blew me away.
Yeah, it's really good animation. I think it's
top notch.
It really is.
And to be able to use, it was like Chadwick Boseman's like one of his last performances. And
I think it actually
that.
like is his final like voice performance ever. Like I could be wrong. Like they might have other stuff that they might roll out at some point, but so far I think it's his last thing that he ever did. Which is really impactful in that respect.
Right.
Yeah.
So to be able to keep it like so close and so connected to the MCU proper, was just mind-blowing that they were able to do it.
There was a few people that they weren't able to bring back, and maybe it's contracts, maybe it's just like those people wanted too much money or
snobbery.
Didn't have time. Maybe it is snobbery, but like they got a lot more people than I actually kind of thought they would for a project that is so kind of experimental, which I find really cool.
Yeah.
And Jeffrey Wright narrates the whole thing.
Right.
Which is cool.
Which connects back to episode 2.
Right? For what? Oh,
he's the spokesman for
Uncle Nearest.
Uncle Nearest.
Uncle Ernest.
Yeah, he's their spokesperson.
Listen, we're getting into Uncle Ernest, or we're getting into Ernest.
Man, it's like the Drippin' Stoneverse. It's all
Stonerverse?
interconnected. Drippin' Stoneverse.
Oh, okay, wait. Correct.
Yeah. Do you ever flare the pinky?
I'm not a pretentious asshole.
I did it. I have legit a picture of myself.
Okay,
from when I was like 5 years old.
Pinky out?
Playing T-ball.
Ooh.
Holding the bat.
Pinky out?
Holding the baseball bat.
Who taught you that? What kind of coach is like...
Nobody teach that shit.
Correct.
That was just in me. It's just who the fuck I am.
Y'all see that ball in that tee? Watch it. Because this ain't going to be on
Watch
that tee.
me tap it. Run!
No, rarely pinky out. I will tell you the only time that I am forced to pinky out is with those stupid coffee cups on a Disney boat.
You don't have an option.
I don't have an option.
Because you can't even fit
a pinky. I can't fit a pinky in there.
No, they're tiny.
Stupid coffee cups.
Yeah. Favorite episode?
I'm gonna go with what's the one with Baby Yoda and they go on that planet, and Ahsoka shows up and she's like, his name is Grogu.
Right, that was Mandalorian.
Oh, what are we talking about?
Season 2. We're talking about What If, Marvel.
Oh,
right. I mean, which Star Wars is part of Marvel, just Mandalorian's not.
Star Wars is
Marvel.
What? I mean, they're owned by the same company, but
Marvel has done Star Wars comics. Not always,
sure.
But like,
what is your favorite episode? I've got one.
It's not really like the last episode is definitely the best. Where the team up episode, but of the standalones, I think my favorite, the one that I went back and kind of watched a couple of times, just because like the visual aspect of that episode was so cool, was the Doctor Strange Supreme.
Oh, okay.
As he's like absorbing these like dark dimension demons to like make himself more powerful, attempting to be able to save his girlfriend. The visual of that is just nuts. Like I really enjoyed that, which, again, they brought back Benedict Cumberbatch, so it makes it easier for you to like really like center yourself in it and accept that as like, oh no, this is Stephen Strange.
Yeah.
Oh, that one was so cool.
I agree. I really like What If Ultron won, because I like that premise, because like I mean like that.
That one's the best one. That's the last episode. That's the best one.
That's the second to last episode. That's where Ultron defeats the Avengers in Age of Ultron, and he actually is then able to basically launch all the nukes and kill everyone.
I'm trying to remember how that one's, because like, so there's the party Thor is like a version of Thor, and that version of Thor,
that's if Thor were an only child.
Correct.
Right.
And so he's like party Thor. They're in Vegas the whole time, and Ultron shows up at the end of that one.
Right. Thor asks, what's her face's character?
Natalie Portman.
Natalie Portman's character out on a date. What's her name? Something Foster. I forget her name.
Jane Foster.
Jane, that's right. And then that's when the army of drones, led by Ultron, like basically comes into play.
Yeah, I didn't think those two episodes were connected.
Yeah. And then in that next episode is when Ultron basically defeats everything, and he becomes the ultimate power in the universe. He like rips apart Thanos. Like Thanos comes in the mix. Yeah, like literally cuts him in half.
Right.
Yeah.
Nuts.
Yeah. So yeah, that episode, I find it, to me, like, it's not super visually compelling. Like, it's cool, but to me it's like, okay, what if the Avengers were defeated and Thanos is kind of nothing at that point, and Ultron is like the badass of the universe? Like, that's cool.
Right. Again, the visual of that was so cool to see Vision behind the Ultron mask, because like that was the intent in the first place. That's why Ultron was creating Vision, was be the ultimate version of himself.
Correct.
And just never got there.
Yeah.
So
they cut him off before he was able to do it.
Right.
Yeah. And that like kind of thought experiment were like, well, what if Ultron were able to complete what he set out to do and did it?
Yeah. This was like how important it was to stop the dude.
Yeah. Honestly, like, thinking back, and why I think that episode to me is the cool episode, is because like it's that what if the heroes lost?
Yeah.
Kind of like what you get in Endgame, you get earlier on, and like, I don't know, like Ultron kind of becomes like a better badass, like a cooler character to me.
Yeah, for sure. And it's I think something that you get, which, you know, I've seen a lot of people comment about how there's a lot of episodes where Tony Stark dies throughout the series.
Right.
And, you know, you could almost argue that there's a lot of good that could have come from that.
Sure.
You know? Because he does so much stuff that like encourages other people to take over or whatever. That, yeah, like if Tony Stark never becomes Iron Man,
right,
there's a lot of bad stuff that doesn't happen.
Correct. Yeah.
Which is kind of an interesting thing. The culmination, though, of everybody coming together to have to fight off that version of Ultron. Like, it wasn't even just like that we needed the Avengers. We needed the Guardians of the multiverse to come together to defeat this guy.
Which to me is kind of like, it's cool that they decided, they being Marvel, it's cool that they decided in an animated series, I don't want to call it inconsequential because I don't think that that's the case, but in an animated series that considers what if these things happened, all of these things actually make sense because of the establishing of the multiverse at the end of Loki, season 1.
Right.
Like, whoa.
Yeah.
So now what they've done, I mean, first of all, good on Marvel to think about, like, this allows us to basically do anything at any time, and it makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, we could go back and we could do, if we really wanted to rehash, Steve Rogers in the 40s, we could do that because that version of Steve Rogers still exists.
I guess that's like the bigger picture. It's like Marvel doing this and making it acceptable. It's like giving the fans, the entire fandom, the ability to like what you like.
Yeah.
If you like the X-Men from 2000s, it still exists.
Yep.
And it's still just as a part of all of this as the rest of it.
For sure.
Interestingly enough, I don't think it just applies to Marvel.
Right.
I think Marvel doing this allows you, hey, if you like Batman Forever, that's cool.
Yeah.
If you like Batman and Robin, or George Clooney, if George Clooney is your Batman, cool.
He exists.
He can be your Batman.
Or if you're just like, you just love the Frank Miller version of Batman. Like you're all into the comic books, and you could maybe say that Christopher Nolan's Batman pulls from some of that. That is your Batman, and he exists.
And that's cool.
And that's cool.
Yeah. Like, I think that's like the fascinating thing of like Marvel's doing more or less kind of like, at least cinematically,
nerddom as a whole,
the hard work.
Sure.
But I mean, it's been like this way in comics for decades.
Yeah.
But cinematically, it's like, I think for so long, we've been so entrenched in canon.
Right.
In what fits together, like, especially like, with like Star Wars and stuff like that, where it's like, no, this is canon and this is not, and this is the storyline. And the MCU, to an extent, of getting all the way through Endgame was like that. Of like, no, all of this is one story.
But I think that's a good point. Is like, in order for all of this to be achieved after, you have to kind of be protective of that one storyline.
Yeah, you had to go through 20 whatever movies it was.
Yes.
To be able to get the kind of fandom
story arc and fandom
credit.
Absolutely.
That they would follow you along with that.
For sure.
It bleeds over into everything though. Like, I'm finding myself so much more accepting of like any other story. Like, I just watched The Joker finally.
Oh God.
Just watched The Joker, and like before, like I was fully enveloped in the multiverse concept.
Can I point out for a second? That was like episode what? Maybe 2 for us?
Bro, I think it might have been 1.
It might have been 1? Nah, I don't think. I think 1 was just talking about us, like our journey and like us starting this out. I think it was episode 2.
Oh yeah, I think you're right.
Okay.
Now.
Can I just point out though? You rag on me for not watching shit.
Uncle Nearest.
Yeah.
With
Jeffrey Wright.
Jeffrey Wright.
I want to point out that like you're ragging on me for not watching shit. That's something from almost 2 years ago, dude.
Yeah.
No, not almost. Legit 2 years ago. To be fair, I just saw it a couple months ago too.
But we also never had an episode riding on it.
Oh, really? So everything, your entire.
I'm just saying it was not a. I didn't need to watch it. I didn't need to watch it yet.
Yeah, but then you watched it. You watched it, and then you were like, "Wow, I should have watched this earlier."
Yeah, if I would have watched this 2 months ago, we could have done an episode on it 2 months ago. That's what I thought.
But now we're gonna do an episode in 2 months, right?
Maybe. But no, like even just watching that, because now I'm so much more acceptable as a viewer of different versions of things.
Sure.
I could watch that and be like, oh, I don't like that take on it, but this is still a really great movie.
But it adds,
and it's a cool.
Exactly.
Yeah, it does. It just adds more to the mythos of Joker.
Right.
That is cool in that way.
Exactly.
It's like you can appreciate freaking 1960s Bam Pow Batman, and you can appreciate The Dark Knight,
Yeah.
It's all just the same take. Or it's the same character, but different takes within that character.
I think you're right. Like, Marvel is kind of doing the heavy lifting of unifying nerddom to some degree. Whereas, like, I mean, there's been such a, especially within the last decade, such a divisive, like, hey, you DC or you Marvel?
Right.
Where it's like, I am comic book. Like I am
Yeah,
superhero. Like I don't disagree. Like, and we've had this debate about like what the shortcomings of DC, but I like all of this, and all of this has meaning, and it's cool.
Right. DC will benefit so much from it. Like,
yeah, no doubt.
They just did the DC fandom a couple of weeks ago. Don't know if you saw any of that, but I guess it was a full out trailer for the new Flash movie that's going to bring back Michael Keaton Batman. And I don't want to say that necessarily that DC is benefiting from the success of Marvel, but they totally are. Marvel making it acceptable to have these different versions of your characters.
Right.
DC will 100% be able to benefit from that acceptance
just by proxy. I mean,
for sure. Yeah, it's such a similar fan base. There's so much overlap for sure that absolutely it's making it so that like, oh yeah, no, like we can laugh at Batman and Robin and George Clooney Batman, but we can also like it doesn't have to be a complete like, oh no, we have to put a blindfold on when we talk about that. Like that didn't happen.
Right.
It's okay that happened. It was a goofy take on it. It wasn't wildly successful, but now we can look back on it and laugh, and everybody can be like cool with it. And if you did genuinely enjoy it, that's okay too.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know?
And what I like overall in terms of that perspective is that the what if kind of mentality allows for creativity to breed as well. In that, like, you know what, this is not part of the generally, and you mentioned a kind of a buzzword of canon. This is not part of like the storyline, the story arc that we're trying to achieve. It could have been, and what would that have changed? And I think that is what if actually accomplishes very well, is that what if Peggy Carter actually had to become Steve Rogers and set this whole thing in motion? Mm-hmm. What does that look like? How does that affect our version of the Captain, quote, Captain America character? And now you have a woman who is this version of that character.
Right.
And like how badass and cool.
That plays right into the conversation that we were having about James Bond.
Uh-huh.
Of you've got this character that has been always perceived this way, but if we can add some depth to it,
sure,
a different version,
why not?
The same character, yeah, like why not add depth?
Exactly. Like
I don't know that could possibly be a bad thing in the sense of narrative. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this, like, where do they go from here? And I don't mean like in the Marvel universe as a whole. I just mean like, can they do, obviously they can do another season of What If, because like, not
it's
that
happening. It's already done.
Yeah. Not that that's not.
There was an episode from this season that was supposed to be in.
Oh, really?
But they had to pull it because it was too closely related to something else.
Oh,
I don't know if it's like COVID related or, you know, if it was like a virus. I don't know, but they pulled it just in case. That's why in that last episode, Gamora, they already kind of established her like we should know Gamora as the killer of Thanos or whatever. Right. And like there's like a scene with like Iron Man where he's been to Sakaar instead of Hulk or something.
Right.
That episode had to be pulled, but it's already been confirmed that that'll be in season 2. We'll get to see that.
I got you. Okay.
I don't know if it'll be like just an extra episode or whatever.
So, okay, I guess my question then becomes like, do they use this? Like, how are they going to use this? Are they using it for a vehicle of just as a thought experiment and just to give more content, or are they using it as a vehicle of possibility?
Yes, I think it's both. I think they're using it as like it's just extra for the extreme nerddom. You know, like to get an episode that's about Captain America as a zombie. That now you can meet that character in California at Disneyland.
Yeah, they
had zombie Captain America for Halloween. That's nuts. Like that's such a cool thing that they can just immediately use the IP like that.
Sure, obviously.
But at the same time, I think if you have a character that hits and connects, it's like, oh man, like that version of Spider-Man really connected. Everybody loved it. Let's make a movie on that.
Yeah,
it just provides them more opportunities.
You know, you just kind of hit on something interesting that like this kind of multiverse idea obviously has been planned out for a long time, but how they're all connected, they all make sense.
It's
and like
brilliant because like, you know, for
really
people from our generation,
it really is.
A decade ago, that was like hearsay. Like you couldn't conceive of that really unless you were like really deep into the books.
Sure.
Into the comic books. Could you conceive that kind of an idea? Like cinematically, it was like the Batman that started in 1989.
Yep.
It was supposed to have been conceived as that same Batman
the whole time,
even though the character changed, and like recasting was like, what? we had to deal with that.
Sure.
But it was supposed to,
it's the same
been
guy.
Conceived as it's the same story.
Correct.
Star Wars is supposed to be the same story, even though it's different, whatever. So to now be able to accept that, like, oh no, this is just a different take.
Yeah.
And it's that easily explained now, of like, oh no, this is just this director's vision of the character. Like, this is the Nolan verse.
See,
this is the whatever.
Oh yeah.
I think it just makes it so much easier to, if you want to go and have an entire, you want to try to do a 3-movie look at Captain America done by a completely different director with a whole different thing, and we're going to focus on this story, you can do that.
Yeah.
And it doesn't affect anything else.
See, I almost like, okay, the negative in me, we've been like positive this whole time, but the negative in me is like that like idea of I can now explain everything because I've set up the ability to explain everything. So anything I do makes sense. So then I almost like kind of don't have to worry about plot, don't have to worry about the...
What I think you're saying is MCU proper.
Uh-huh.
Where does the MCU proper go?
Does
it still even exist?
Like, quote unquote, the timeline.
Correct.
Right.
And I think, personally, it might have been a good idea for them to just call it
right
at Endgame. Let that be the culmination of this amazing 28, whatever it was, movies. You did the thing.
Yeah.
You did this crazy, amazing thing, and you brought these characters together.
Right.
What a feat.
Yeah.
At this point, I almost feel like the fact that they're trying to continue that is folly.
Yeah.
Because you have introduced this concept now.
So that's a good point. Like, is this the second phase of like, okay, so we're going to do a 1, 2, 3 movie run of like, what if kind of thing? Like,
could be.
Yeah.
Like, or if you wanted to try to do that same thing of like, you know what? We're going to do that same thing now. We're going to introduce a new Iron Man,
sure,
a new Captain America, a new Hulk, and we're going to create this new MCU,
right?
That is not the old one. It's a new take on it,
right?
That could work, and you could build up this new team and this whole new thing.
Yeah.
It's not that much different from like whenever you had to reboot Spider-Man.
Right.
We had 3 Spider-Men in like a 7-year period or whatever it was, but now it's more acceptable,
right?
Because then, when Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man came out, it was like, I wanted more Tobey Maguire. What the? I don't want this guy.
Sure.
You had to fight that. Now you don't really have to fight that.
Right.
This is just
now it makes
acceptable
sense.
because
Right.
it's all in the MCU.
Exactly.
It's all multiverse. This is just this version of it.
This is what it is. Here you go.
And so the fandom will be more accepting of it, and they'll go see it.
That's such a good point.
You don't have to battle that anymore.
Yeah.
And if you don't like it, then we won't continue it. We'll redo it again next year.
Just wait, because in a year, in 2 years,
we'll redo it all.
Right. We got something else that you're probably gonna like. And you're
I
gonna
don't
go see it anyway because it's Marvel. And, and we got you.
It's just whether or not they can put the magic together again to create a 28 episode series again.
But I think like that right there, I agree with you. I think that might be done. Like that, like span of, okay, let's try and achieve this.
I don't think it could be done because it had never been done before. I don't think it's a one and done kind of thing.
Ooh.
A 28 movie thing that had never happened.
No, and I agree.
Interconnected and stuff. It's just like it'll take the right connection of stuff.
I think it might be lightning in a bottle. I really do. Like we accomplished this. Look at how magnificent this thing is that we accomplished.
I agree, but I mean, it is amazing.
Yeah,
it may not be for 20 years from now until we're able to accomplish it again, but it'll happen again.
Okay.
Yeah. Eventually, people will forget Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, or somebody will come along that, believe it or not,
is better.
Will do it better.
Okay.
And when that happens, and they get the right combination of things,
sure,
it'll recreate the magic again because we've seen it happen. We know it.
We've already
happen.
established it. Yeah, that's a good point. Like we've already established it. We know it can happen. Let's try and do it.
Like
sure.
In 10 years, we'll look back at that and laugh at it and be like, oh, that was so cute that's what people enjoyed back then. But now we've got this version of it.
Right. Right.
Just like with anything.
Yeah. Hey, you got anything else?
Yeah. One last thing.
I feel like this is becoming your thing.
how crazy how crazy good was Black Panther as Star-Lord?
Oh, dude.
Like to show you what Star. It almost feels like a slam to like Chris Pratt's Star-Lord. And I don't know if that was intentional, but T'Challa makes such a good Star-Lord that he turns Thanos.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I got.
I agree with you.
It's like, oh my God, you could be like, this universe is Superman. Like you're that good as a superhero that you're that. Okay, anyway.
Hey, Chris Pratt, you want to be Mario?
Yeah.
Here we go. Oh, I'm looking forward to that train wreck.
Oh well, I'll see it. They got a lot of talent invested in that movie. I don't know when they signed Chris Pratt. Maybe it was before he kind of went off the rails. But there's still a lot of other talent aside from Chris Pratt attached to that.
I admire your optimism.
Not only that, but like Nintendo has got to like be really careful because they did the old Super Mario movie that movie alone ended video game movies for 3 decades.
I'm going to say it. There's not a multiverse where that's going to be good. I got it. I mean, did you see Sonic?
No.
It's not terrible. It is not a good movie. Am I going to go see it? Day it opens? No, I will not. I can tell you that. You might. I'm not.
I might. I don't know. I'll wait and see. give me a couple like real trailers.
Sure. Yeah, that's a good point.
You don't watch trailers though.
You're right. So I'll just ask you.
That's a bad point.
No, it's a good point for you, but it's
a bad point from your perspective.
No. It's a good point because I'm asking you like, how's the trailer? And you're going to tell me about the trailer.
It's good. I'm going to show it to you.
Right. I'm
just like Spider-Man.
Damn it, Kyle.
Fucking Green Goblin bombs right there, man. You got to see this.
Now you got anything else?
Last thing.
Okay.
I'm done.
Okay. Well, we'd love to know what you think about the Dettling.
Wait. The last thing I think is I like the 50-month better.
Did I say that earlier?
You said you like the other.
Okay. You like the 50-month?
I think I'm leaning 50. I think it's a little subtler, and I think I'm enjoying that head-to-head.
Now that I've sat with it a little bit longer, I actually agree with you. That buttery toffee caramel note, I really enjoy.
I just think as a drink as a whole, it's a little bit more well put together.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, it's splitting hairs. 100%.
For sure.
100%.
Yeah.
But I think it's just a little bit better of a drink.
Yeah, I agree. So we want to know what you think about the What If series. Are you as big of fanboys as we are? Like, how do you perceive like what Marvel's kind of doing here?
Yeah, what was your favorite episode?
Oh,
did you like the Zombieverse?
Yeah.
Did you like
T'Challa as Star-Lord?
Yeah, indeed. Did you like Strange Supreme?
Yeah.
I like that.
Killmonger saving
Iron Man?
Iron Man, yeah. Yeah, that's good.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah. And we also want to know what you think about the Dettling Cask Strength Single Barrel. Do you like the 36-month over the 50-month?
Yeah. Have you had a chance to try it? If not, find a way to Alabama. This is some good stuff.
That is correct. I don't think, I know that their distribution has expanded slightly, but it's pretty much still in Alabama.
Yeah. I mean, that's the easiest way to find it for sure.
Yeah.
But they are starting to reach out. I know that it's creeping into Florida and some other places but
creeping. Florida is honored to have Dettling.
I mean, creeping in terms of location. Like it's pretty much up in the panhandle at this point.
Slowly branching out.
Yeah, I don't know if it's down as far as we are yet.
No, for sure it's not.
Yeah.
But I can't wait.
Me too. I mean, I'm up that way all the time.
For sure.
I get this stuff whenever I want it.
Yeah, you do.
It's delicious.
I've got a connection.
Yeah.
On that note, you can get in touch with us through email. That's drepandstone@gmail.com. You can also get in touch with us through social media.
It's one word, Drep and Stone, DREP and Stone. Find us, like us, leave a comment. We'll comment right back at you. Let us know your favorite Dettling expression. If not, just let us know what your favorite What If episode was.
I mean, come on, guys. Free sticker.
Oh, yeah.
Who doesn't want a sticker?
Forgot about the sticker.
I know. It's our faces on a sticker. Kyle.
Reach out. Get that sticker. It's a really, like, the quality of the sticker is, it amazes me. It has, like, this, like, almost, like, velvety texture to it.
Oh, yeah. It's a sexy sticker.
It's, like,
I mean, I'm not just saying that because my face
made.
is on it.
No. It's not just that.
Yeah. It's high quality.
Doesn't hurt.
No.
Doesn't hurt.
No.
But the quality of the sticker is like amazing. Like I put it on a book, and it's like almost like a fidgety kind of a thing because like
Sure.
I like the texture of the sticker.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
If you want to support the podcast, you can do so through the following means. Means number one. Oh, no. You can tell a friend, you can tell a stranger, you can tell literally anybody. Somebody that you meet on a plane in an airport. Who knows?
Yeah,
on a train?
It's like a verbal thing.
In a box?
Audio.
With an ox?
I do like dripping stone. I like them in a box. I like them with a fox.
Correct.
Or an ox.
That's what I said. Just tell anybody.
Yeah, wherever you find yourself.
For sure.
Whoever's sitting next to you, you're at the dentist office.
Tell somebody.
Lean over. Hey,
have you watched or have you listened to any of Dripping Stone? It's really good.
Ow. Correct. And you can financially support the podcast through our Buy Me a Coffee page. That's buymeacoffee.com/DrippinStone.
that one helps a lot too.
Yeah. And you can also support the podcast by rating Drippin' Stone wherever it is that you find great podcasts like this one. Like literally, what do you listen to the podcast on? Is it Spotify? Is it Google Play Podcast? Is it Apple Podcast? Literally just rate us, whatever it is you find it.
Leave a like. Share the podcast.
Do it.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
There's that little weird like 3-dot like connected with lines icon. You click on that and you can like send it places. It's crazy.
Who knows where it goes, but do it.
Yeah.
Do it right now.
Internets.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy.
May your glass overflow.
Or what if your ass never showed? Cheers, buddy.
Cheers. Hey, Kyle.
What?
Put that mic towards your face.
Oh. I'm not really sure what you just said.
Welcome to the Drippin' Stone podcast. The podcast that's you'll never hear that. No. You ready to jump in it?
No.
Okay.
Ears of corn.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not in a sexual way, but maybe.
$20.
Who's paying? Damn. That got weird.
It just got weird. Listen, I'm the little spoon. So what? I'm down.
I mean, you've been down.
You ain't wrong.
Been up.
Like I didn't want to make it weird if it was a thing. All right.
Not a thing. You get to say no.
Nah.
Of.
You're not.
I mean, I'm not saying like we need to end it, but you think we're gonna be around 2040? That buttery smooth. Ooh, fuck smooth. Now you got anything else?
Okay, I think I'm done now.
Okay.
Cut that. All right.
I will.
Okay.
Yeah. We're climate change. You know what I mean?
What we do.
Yeah.